What? I don't feel like I'm Master P. Walking with that glizzy on the side of the inside of me. Hey, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, you feel what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, and share it. This is another story time. This story time is going to be called Being Homeless at 18, Close to Doing Suicide. Okay. So this story starts about me being 18 at the time, 2021-ish, late 2021-ish and shit like that. Got kicked out my stepdad house and shit. Had to stay with my grandma and shit like that. And they was like, damn, if you gonna stay with us and shit like that, you gonna have to get this. Yeah, you know. So yeah, you're gonna have to get this shit like that. And me being me, I'm not getting that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I told my grandma, my grandpa, I was like, nah, I ain't getting that shit. And he was like, yeah, if you live here, you're gonna have to get yeah, you're gonna have to get that. So that's when after that, I was like, nah, I ain't getting that, I ain't getting that. And around this time when I had moved to my grandparents' house, this was like right after me and my ex had this big ass fight and shit like that. So all of a sudden, this had to be around like this had to be around like November when I came to move to my grandma's house and shit. And so all of a sudden, you feel what I'm saying? Moved back at my grandma's house and shit like that. Everything was cool. Then 2 months came by December, came and shit. You know, found out my ex was cheating on me and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Left me for another nigga and shit. But yeah, like, you feel what I'm saying? My grandma had took me to this clinic and shit like that. And she was like, yeah, you gonna get this vaccine and shit. You gonna get this shit. You gonna get it. And me being me, you feel what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not getting that shit, bro. I'm not. I don't give a fuck how you feel. So that's when I remember crying that day. I was crying and shit. You feel what I'm saying? And my stepdad was like, yeah, you gonna, like, shit, you can take this sea moss. You feel what I'm saying? It can heal you and all that bullshit. But me being me, I was like, nah, I ain't going for it. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather be homeless and deal with this shit. Straight like that. So that's when after that, my grandma, she was like, fuck it. She ended up taking me to my mama's house and shit. And that's when all of a sudden she was like, yeah, he don't want to get it. And my mom was like, why won't you just get it? Get it, get it, get it. You need to get it. You need to get it. So you feel what I'm saying? Like, me being me, and we all the way out in the country, I just like, fuck y'all. And I just started walking back to my city, trying to walk back. My grandma was like, hey, get in this car, get in this car. So we get in the car, takes me back to the clinic. And that's when all of a sudden, you feel what I'm saying? I end up leaving and shit like that. I end up leaving. We go back to the clinic. She's like, you better get this fucking vaccine. I was like, no. She was like, all right, then get the fuck out. I get my clothes and shit, my big bag clothes. I walk right by IHOP, dump some of my brand new clothes that I already had packed and shit. Had to dump over so I can carry it and shit. So that's when I just started walking to a place called Sundial. I started walking over there and shit like that. And that's when I went to this old ass lady house named Miss Sharon and shit. So me and Sharon chilling, we smoking and shit like that. It's an old ass lady I used to go smoke with and shit like that. She don't stay there no more. But yeah, you feel what I'm saying? I go over there, smoke with her and shit. It's like around like COVID time and shit. So that's when after that, you feel what I'm saying? My stepdad, he picked me up and shit. Go back to my grandma's house. You feel what I'm saying? And that's when after that, you feel me? That was the night I go back to my grandma's house. She was like, yeah, you gonna have to get this vaccine in the morning or you gonna have to get the fuck out. So that night, what I did was I just packed my shit that night and they didn't even see me pack the shit. So that was that morning when I woke up, I was up earlier than them. 5 o'clock in the morning waiting to see when they gonna take a shower so I can just dip. Took a shower, dip, you feel what I'm saying, hard ass. Went outside in the rain. It was raining and shit. Raining ice on the ground and shit like that. And I remember walking and shit right by KFC. And my stepdad called me. He was like, damn, bro, you really left? I'm like, yeah, I left. You feel what I'm saying? I'm standing on business. I'm not doing this. Like, the fuck? So that's when, you know, I walked all the way to Sundial that day. Walk all the way to Sundial. And that's when I was telling this lady, Miss Sharon, she's like, yeah, I don't got nowhere for you or stuff like that. And this dude named Luke Kane came out of nowhere. He was like, yeah, man, I see you don't got no place to stay and shit like that. I see you homeless and shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's cold around this time. It's like cold as fuck, like 20 degrees in Florida. Cold as hell. So he was like, yeah, you can stay in my bando, you feel what I'm saying, for a month and you pay $50 to the rent, dude. So I go to the bando. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm there for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I was straight on the first day, but the second day, bro, like I just kind of like tweaked out. I was like, man, God, if you don't get me out of this, I'm gonna kill myself right now. You feel me? And I looked in the mirror and shit like that, and I was seeing how skinny my bones was. I was real skinny and shit. Looking at myself crying, I was like, God, if you don't set me out this situation, I'm just gonna kill myself, take myself out this shit. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have no help. I don't have nobody. You feel what I'm saying? Didn't have nobody. Stepdad didn't want to help me. Mother didn't want to help me. I was just on the streets at 18 in the trap house. You feel what I'm saying? Pills all over the floor and everything. So me being me, I was just go about to take the fucking pills, get like 10 of them pills and just swallow that shit and just OD out this shit, bro. Cause it's like going through fucking pain. Like, the sick and tired of going through pain around this time. And soon I was about to do suicide and kill myself, swallowed the pills and shit. That's when something spoke to me and said, nah, everything's gonna be straight. Everything's gonna be straight. Leave out this place. Leave out this place. So, I'm leaving and shit. I'm walking and shit. And that's when I see this nigga going back. Like, I'm going this way, he going back. So that's when all of a sudden, like, I walked the sundial and shit. And that's when this nigga Luke Kane looked at me and shit. Luke Kane and this other nigga was fighting and shit right in front of me. So me being me, I was walking to the stove trying to walk. And all of a sudden this lady named, Hilda and shit. And my real dad, Trop. You feel me? Shout out my dad, Trop. You feel me? But, Hilda, she took me in and shit. You feel me? She took me in, made sure I was straight. And, she was like, yeah, you ever need anything, let me know. And she was like, as long as you graduate high school, you're going to be straight. You feel what I'm saying? And I was straight. You feel me? She took me in as her own. You feel me? And I was 18, she was 27 at the time. You feel me? Took me in, called me Sunshine. You feel me? Took me in. And during that whole time, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I was running the streets and shit, like doing shit, like desperate. You know what I'm saying? Going to the store, stealing backwoods and shit, going to the store, stealing food and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because it'd be some days I couldn't even eat, you feel me? Couldn't even eat. And it'd be Sundays, I'd be looking at night, looking at the sky and shit, like, damn, God, like, when you gonna take me out of the situation? You feel what I'm saying? That's when, a couple months later, I ended up leaving and shit. A couple months later, I ended up graduating and shit like that. You feel me? Graduated. You feel me? Everything was straight. But throughout that whole time, you feel what I'm saying? I already knew that I was gonna be straight. I just knew I was gonna be straight when God spoke to my ear and shit and told me, just to leave, don't do it. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, shit, I done went through so much hell in life. You feel what I'm saying? I never told this story before, never. Never really got out my comfort zone to really tell people. Some people know, but that's about it. That know me, but that's it. But it's like, shit, and especially around that time, me going through a breakup and shit around 2022. This breakup in 2021, but me going through it, you feel what I'm saying? This bitch pregnant and shit, so I don't know if it's my baby at the time and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So me, I'm stressing and shit. At the time, it's just stressing heavy. I'm like, damn, bro, like, what the fuck? Got a whole new nigga and shit. Like, pregnant as fuck. So I'm thinking it's mine the whole time. It ain't mine. You feel me? Like, shit, that shit was like, it was a worse experience, but, I'm glad that I learned from it, just going through shit. You feel me? But I'm kind of glad I didn't do suicide and actually just stayed. You feel what I'm saying? Red ride everything. You feel me? And that's why I'm still here to this day. You know what I'm saying? So this motivation, I wanted to say part in this video. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't give up, bro. You gonna want to give up. You feel what I'm saying? Fuck them. You feel what I'm saying? You got this. You feel what I'm saying? Even when days you want to stress and you want to just say fuck everything, just say fuck it. Don't do it. Just keep going. You feel what I'm saying? Even all the people that's, if you like trying to do suicide and shit, don't do it. Just keep going. Like, this shit just temporary. It's pain just temporary, bro. Being out there on the streets is temporary. And this coming from a nigga that's been out of the streets since 12. You feel me? Well, yeah, that's my story of being homeless and about to commit suicide when I was 18. Like and subscribe. You feel what I'm saying? More content dropping, you feel what I'm saying? More content dropping, you feel what I'm saying? I just like, love doing this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Love being me. I don't really give a fuck about the camera. You feel me? But yeah, like and subscribe.